My name is Hunter and I like cars.
So do I. This is gonna be great. What we're doing today, we're going to dress up the underneath of that El Camino, the under the hood, and what we're going to start with is fender wells. We've got a new set of fender wells here. We're going to put those, we're going to sand them down and paint them. Paint them red to match the car, and we will be putting them later. This will be Hunter's first time of doing anything like sanding a car, sanding, painting, doing anything. What we're going to do, where's your water at? We've got a little thing of water here, and the way this works is put the sandpaper up here and like that. See how we're doing this? Kind of in circular motion. If you scuff the metal, the paint, the next layer of paint will adhere to it. You just have to have it just has to be scratched so that it's. And you can tell when you're doing it. You'll see it'll kind of get a little chalky on you, and that's the paint sanding off. And here, I want you to try it. Same way with your fingers like I showed you. Dip a little water, then start up here and come down. Feel your curves. All right, now put a little weight into it. Because you got to push down on it to get it to. It won't cut sliding across. Like, see right here what this little scratch is? You want to sand that a little extra. You're going to do what's called feather the edge. What we're doing now is wiping off all the dust. We're drying it. The dust has to come off because it will look bad on the paint. And so we're getting ready to primer this. You always put a primer down to adhere between the bare metal and the new paint. New paint doesn't like to adhere to bare metal. Give it some primer and get this cleaned up. We're going to get the dust off right now. Then we'll come back with a reducer and wipe it down to get all the oils off. Because our fingers, there's oil in your fingers. And if you touch the metal and spray the paint, it'll oil up on you. And you'll have bubbles and it will ruin your paint job. But the biggest culprit, and this should tell you how good this stuff is WD-40. If you spray WD-40 on a piece of metal and you want to paint that metal, good luck. Because it takes years for that stuff to come off. It's just, you can wipe it down, wipe it down. You just keep wiping. I have a friend in Arizona, Jay Moody. Oh, he hates this stuff. Okay, now, this is wash grade thinner. What we're doing here, get the rag wet with this, and wipe it down. Now watch the rag, it'll get dirty. Then when it does, you turn it over.
Yeah, it smells like acetone or something.
Now this is a fender well, and basically nobody's really going to see a whole lot of this. They're going to see, little bits of it from under the hood. It's not a piece that has to have perfect paint, but it should have good paint. Anytime you can do something, do it right. And we're just using rattle cans today to do these because they're small and I didn't want to get out there and press and all that. All right, shake, rattle, and roll. Shake it for about 3 or 4 minutes. All right, let's see how this is going to work. What we've got here is this is just a rattle can primer. Primer has special adhesives in it and it works better on better metal. And Hunter, I can't paint, so it's gonna be up to you. What you're gonna do, that's called a wet coat. 2 times best a wet coat. All right. That's a double wet coat. So what I want you to do is wet coat this whole thing and then come back double wet coat. But see how I'm doing it? There's no runs. You just keep the can moving. Go ahead and try it. I need to stand over here away from it. Slower, slower, a little slower, a little closer. Not closer that way, closer. You can see a line there. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is then just like halfway over. See what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like that. Alrighty, now what I want you to do, you're going to repeat the same process, but this time you're going to double wet coat. Alrighty, that's good. Now, what we're going to do is take it and set it in the sun for a little bit and let it dry, and then we'll work on the other one. How's that look? Voila! This is what I should have done the first time, but I didn't. That means I should have done the inside of the fender well instead of the outside. So we're going to do the inside first. Alrighty, we're going to start working on the inside of this one and sanding it down. Start doing this, same thing. Grab yours, start there. Okay, we'll let it dry for a few minutes and then dry it off. It's ready.
Done drying.
Okay, go get another rag like that and dry it again.
Okay.
What we're doing is we're drying this off real good to make sure we get all the dust off. We don't want any dust on here, because dust, when you spray paint over it, the dust can lay underneath there and then it'll cause a protrusion, which basically looks like a piece of dirt in your paint, and you don't want that. So that's why we wipe everything down. Try to keep it as clean as you can. And once you spray paint, you'll see what I'm talking about, because everybody will get dust. Now, it's all wiped down. It's going to be easier. What you're going to do, go right across the top and keep coming.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, let's get him the mask. All right, let's stop for a second.
This will work.
That work?
Okay. Yeah, this will be fine.
Okay. You always want to have a mask when you're painting. I used to paint when I was a kid, not wear one. Now I'm paying the price. Yep.
There's dirt on the inside, I see that.
What we're going to do now is we're going to do the inside of this fender well. You're going to stand Same way, you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna wipe it out. We're gonna let Hunter do the whole thing. There you go, your new name tag. I'm an inner fender panel. Got some sand in it now. This is going to have to be sanded pretty good. See? That's called dry paint. And what this is because you didn't get up in here and get it wet, because it went on too far back, so the paint dried before it got to it. You understand? So you need to keep close. You know, keep yourself about that close, you know. Steady. Okay. Alrighty. Do you think it's ready?
Yes.
It's ready.
I think it
These
is
are excellent.
100% ready.
Alright. Wipe her down.
So you're really saying you just gotta slap it on?
What happens is when we're painting, you get what's called orange peel. And that is like a wavy surface on top of the paint. The finish is kind of wavy. And by sanding, when you wet sand, you take the high points down and level the paint. And then when you level it, the next coat can be on level. You always want your paint level as it goes on, so you wet sand between coats so it keeps it level. Gives you a better depth when you get the paint job done. You can see through the paint better. He's going to wipe it all in one direction. That way, as you wipe, when you go back, you don't want to wipe it back across it. You only want to wipe in one direction. That keeps all the dirt coming with you.
Did the primer rub off with
Okay, that's because you had it sanded down and there was very minimal here, and you just wiped away the surface. What we're doing is the sand, when you sanded the paint down, it turned back into a dust. You can see your sand marks. And what we did is we just wiped it off. So if you notice, when we wipe, we'll get gray. That's the paint. But that's what you sanded already. It's not taking off the paint that's there. It's taking off what you sanded. See? You see this gray? Watch. See? Takes it all off. Because if you leave it on there, it'll show through the paint. Make sure and get it clean, wipe it down. This is probably one of the pickiest parts of the whole job, is getting it ready for that first coat of paint. Looks like we're not catching much now. Alrighty, I think you're ready for your first paint job. You're gonna spray this way, and you're gonna spray back. Then you're gonna look up here, and you're gonna go spray. You want to keep the surface where it's spraying, the spray level with the surface you're spraying. You may have to pull this direction and then change your angle. You know what I'm saying? Then you're gonna move up about halfway, half of your pattern, and then move up half a pattern again and do another one. And that way you shouldn't run into any runs. Let's see if you can do it without any runs.
You doing all right?
Yeah. It's just, this isn't like a respirator, so I'm still just breathing it all in. It's better than nothing.
Too far.
Huh?
You're too far away. Put your hand on my hand. Put your hand up here. You're gonna come here. You're gonna hold it. You're gonna follow the metal. You're not gonna just follow your arm. You're gonna follow the metal. You gotta be right here with the metal. Okay? That's how you do it. That's how you get smooth. All right, I'm tired of this weather. This has gotten out of hand. I can't do this anymore. We're gonna fix it. We're gonna get us something tomorrow. We're gonna change this whole deal. That'll work. Let's go.